Welcome to 20 Minutes Underground. This is what we do. People who try to rob us, we go out in public with guns and we shoot them. Watch this.
Oh! I do it for the fans. Dang! That hurt.
That's good stuff.
You came close. I'm definitely bleeding.
Welcome to 20 Minutes Underground, your sometimes weekly online reptile YouTube show for reptile enthusiasts like Cammy Joyce, like Kiki Faye. That's why they're here. That's why you're here. This week on 20 Minutes Underground, you're going to watch me smash my children for playing the same song 8,000 times. Get away with that stuff!
Sorry, Daddy.
I forgive you.
You can't die.
Hibernation. What's the other word? Brumation. All things like that. I remember the first time I tried to hibernate an animal. I was in, this is great, I was in 7th grade and Tammy Joy, I'm trying to film a show!
Okay.
I was in 7th grade and we used to, in my old neighborhood, even though I'm from the city, we had this little area. We used to, I don't know, it was so crazy because looking back, it was all city and it was all concrete, but there was this like little 2-acre plot that went down in the ground. I'm trying to film a show. The first time that I actually tried to put an animal into hibernation was very interesting. I was in 7th grade. I went to PS 202 in Queens, New York. And we used to catch these little DK snakes. There was only one place to catch snakes in 100 miles, and there was this little horse area with these people who, I guess they never developed the land because the rest of my neighborhood was all concrete and trees were only where people put them, never. But there was this one area that had all mulch piles and somehow there was DK snakes. We'd catch these little tiny DK snakes, my first snake that I ever caught. Well, anyway, I took one and I put it in the refrigerator at school. And we let it get down into like the low 40s. It was like 43, 44 degrees with a little thermometer in there. And I remember we put it in there over the weekend. I took it out on Monday and there was this frozen stiff snake. I'm telling you, the thing looked like it was frozen solid. And I was like, man, I think I killed the snake. I remember telling my teacher. We tried to do this thing, but it was frozen stiff. Over the course of the next 3 hours, this thing literally defrosted and started moving around. I couldn't believe it. I never imagined. So this is how I learned my first lesson to hibernating and brumating snakes. Cool thing, try it. It's so much fun, but don't kill your snakes. Don't do it if it's an expensive snake either. Not that expensive snakes are less important or more important than, never mind. Don't do this. Don't even try that at home. Enjoy the show. Heard of, we had the best year ever. So there's so many different things going on. When you try to artificially produce what God does in the wild, it's very difficult trying to figure out what animals need a high pressure system, what animals need cooling, what animals need heating, what animals need an extended, some animals need to hibernate, some animals need to brumate, so many different things going on. And it's all trial and error because you could have somebody breeding here and somebody breeding 4 miles away in another place, and they might have a southern exposure as opposed to an eastern exposure, and it changes all the rules. It is a very difficult endeavor. I don't suggest anybody going into it lightly or especially under finance because you could have one bad year and you can lose your house. So have fun out there. Keep that in mind. Thanks for watching. Us.
Hello, this is Beautiful Sam and I have this week's trivia question. I'm asking this question because right now at Underground Reptiles we have Dumo's boas, Colombian boas, red-tailed boas, and Nicaraguan boas. And one of the most commonly questions I get asked, can you take a Dumo's boa, a Colombian boa, or any other type of Colombian morph type thing and put them in the same cage? Is it A, yes you can, B...
Wait a minute, Sam, wait a minute. That is the stupidest question I've ever heard. Let me give you guys the real trivia question of the week. What reptile can live in a colony with up to 40 members? Is it A, red-eyed tree frogs?
Okay.
B, Kenyan sand boas?
They're amphibians.
Okay,
Or
cool.
C,
Tree frogs.
You got
sun gazers?
Red-eyed tree frogs are amphibians, just so you know.
Hey guys, Ryan B here. This week we're talking about wintering your animals properly. Some people call it hibernating, some people call it brumating. That's more popular in the reptile and amphibian world, if you will. Being the resident gecko guy, I guess, I've been stuck with the task of telling you about brumating your geckos. You got your crested geckos. This here is an example of a good sized male. He's going to be ready to go pretty soon here. One of the benefits of wintering your crested geckos, guys, as well as your gargoyles, lychees, it gives the males an opportunity to replenish, if you will, after a long breeding season. Primarily, though, you're going to want to do it for your females. You can actually overbreed your female geckos if you're not careful. And what that does is it depletes them of calcium, it depletes them of other vitamins that they need, it makes a weaker animal, and eventually it also pulls from their fat deposits, things of that nature. Will wind up giving you a skinny, unhealthy female, and probably one that would shortly die thereafter. So, good idea to winter them. How do you do it? Well, generally speaking, with crested geckos, you're going to want to drop their temperatures about 5 to 10 degrees. Now, you're not going to want to do too much because they're generally a colder climate, or cooler, I should say, climate animal. You're not putting your crested geckos in an environment that's really higher than the 80s. I keep mine at room temperature. I keep my house at 76, 77 degrees. They love that all year long. So during their cooling down process, I'll allow the temperatures to fluctuate between 5 and 10 degrees of a drop. So that's going to put you at around 72, even anywhere around 67-ish or so. That's not too dangerous for the animals, especially the crested geckos, because again, they come from a cooler climate. Okay, during that time, good rule of thumb, you're going to want to make sure that you're feeding them. You'll first, some people will separate their males and females. They'll start feeding them before they do the temperature drop. The reason why is they want to put on weight on the animal before they cool them down, because when they cool them down, they're also going to slow down on their feeding as well. So you fatten them up before you cool them down. Then, as it comes out of winter, you'll do that for about 2, maybe 3 months. You'll keep them separated still, then you'll start raising up the temperatures a little bit, and you'll start feeding them again. That helps them to put weight back on from that longer winter process. Same thing you want to do with your leopard geckos. As you guys see here, we have our leopard gecko racks. Okay, this is a racks that we use to house the animals that we're actually putting up for sale. These aren't our breeder racks. Of course, you would want something larger for breeder adult leopard geckos, especially if you're pairing them and they're going to be laying eggs in there. But same rule goes. Lower the temperatures, 10, some people even do up to 15 degrees on the leopard geckos. It's not bad, it's not dangerous at all. And what you're going to want to do, especially with female leopard geckos, make sure that you're giving them calcium in that time period before and after the cool down, especially those females, because they deplete themselves of calcium very, very quickly. Okay? Fatten them up, let them cool down, let the males kind of recoup from the breeding season. You especially allow your females to recoup from the breeding season, and then you start the whole season over again. Very important to do, especially for your leopard geckos. I know some people that have success keeping weight on the crested geckos, but when it comes to leopard geckos, it's very, very easy to burn out your females, okay? So, good rule of thumb, winter your leopard geckos, winter your cresteds, your New Caledonia geckos is also good to do. Make sure you're fattening them up, make sure you're giving them plenty of vitamins in that time period so that they can recoup from all that, and you'll be good to go for the breeding season. Have a successful breeding season like we're hoping to here, and God bless.
I want to talk a little bit about brumation and hibernation. For you guys that live in cold areas like us, this is Florida right now, and it's like in the upper 60s. It's pretty frigid. That's why I'm wearing my flannel, so I can feel like you guys up north. Hey, hey! I'm filming here! You have to show them. Be quiet, I'm filming! Venting my authority as a father. Anyway, to show you guys that the difference between brumation and hibernation. There's hibernation when animals will actually go into a physical sleep where their body will shut down, their heart rate will almost stop. Sometimes some of their skin cells would even freeze. So slow. Some animals actually die during hibernation. In Florida and South American countries, they don't really hibernate, but they do what's called brumate, where they slow down, they shut down, their bodies don't go into a state of suspended animation, so to speak. But if you look here, now it is winter in Florida, and obviously that's not really cold. I mean, the coldest it ever gets here is about in the 40s. We still get some growth. I try to kill it as it comes up. Now, this is an empty case, so there's nothing in here, but you can see what it looks like. It's not the typical green and beautiful Florida. These all black and white tegus, they're all sleeping now. We try not to mess with them. We don't want them to wake up. We put a bunch of extra substrate in there. They go underneath there. They make themselves a little bed and they sleep. This is when we keep the males and the females together. This is basically the only time beside breeding that we keep them together. You guys notice that the cages are all in pairs, so we have a male and a female in here. Once spring rolls around, late February, March, we notice some breeding activities. We see that the female's starting to get fat. Maybe she goes off her food, or she's eating voraciously, trying to nourish herself for the eggs that she's forming. Then we'll take the male out. We won't put the male back in till late fall. Reason that is the male will start to, the female, after the female's gravid, the male will continue to beat her up. She doesn't want to mate anymore, but he wants to, so he continually tries to dominate her. However, after she lays her eggs, the male doesn't want to mate with her anymore. She releases a pheromone or something like that, says, don't mate with me anymore, and he stops, but now she wants him away so she can protect her eggs, and now the female will then beat up the male. So it's kind of a funny thing. Just like humans. That's Eli. He's a freak. Hi, Eli. That's Wussy. Up. Or not. So what happens during Florida brumation, now, and here's the interesting thing. Even though sometimes it does get in the 40s in Florida, brumation doesn't have to be a cold weather time, because the vast majority of the time it's in the 80s in Florida anyway. And even in the 80s in Florida, our animals will brumate. They somehow have some internal clock that tells them. Now look here, Alex, try to get it. So that is an Argentine black and white tegu, and although she's, I think that's the she. I don't know, I can't tell. He's a little bit skinnier than when he's at his fattest, but he's still keeping his nice body weight on. He's slowing down. He's not eating, hasn't probably eaten in 7 or 8 weeks, maybe more than that. And he's just chill, getting in some sun. Most of them are sleeping, some of them wake up. Now, if you follow me this way, now it's a kind of a funny thing. Although all reptiles are cold-blooded, not all reptiles will brumate, like rhino iguanas. Those things are cool weather animals. That thing could be awake in 40 degrees and walking around with no problem. He'll even eat. You notice I have a banana in there and some green beans and some yellow squash. He'll eat. His eating will slow down, but yet some reptiles during brumation don't do anything, and some, well, they're still moving around. Cammy, why are you making a mess?
Now we made a flower.
You guys all know Rex? Rexy loves to brumate. You want to go pet Rexy?
You do it.
Yeah. Come here, Rexy.
Hey, big guy. He likes you.
You feel his skin? Because his skin is dark, even though it's cold out, it's still very warm to the touch. Rexy's such a good boy. I love my boy Rexy. Got that boy for 20 plus years now.
Bye, Rexy.
Moving the albinos inside is extremely important, because if it gets too cold, their skin cannot absorb enough heat. So what I do is I look at my iPhone here, and I look up the weather, and I look at Florida. It's right now, I don't know if you can see that, it's 59 degrees, but tonight it's supposed to go down into the 40s. which for an albino, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, is a little cold. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here and disrupt them while they're sleeping, which is probably not the greatest idea in the world, but put that up top there. But it's a whole lot better than taking a risk at them dying. Now this is the purple tiger, you guys might remember. Now I warn you guys that when animals have been wintering, they ain't at their prettiest. So please, the comments about, oh, you don't take care of animals and all of that stuff, shove them up your razoo. Here's the purple tiger. He's sleeping, obviously. My ugly boy. Alex, make sure he doesn't come out of there. Don't let him bite you. Here's the girl. Where's that, the purple tiger? I think that's the purple tiger. Now we're going to put them in those cages that we showed you inside, so that way they can get into the 50s, I don't mind, but when it gets into the 40s, I start to worry. Let's get that female. What's
What kind of female is
that up top
Dad?
there? And get that other female. And now this is the other female.
Why are you going to cages?
That's tough to get him if I don't go in the cage. My arms don't belong. But it would be cool if I was Mr. Stretcho.
You're funny.
You think I'm funny? Like how I'm funny? Like I'm your clown? I make you laugh?
You're not a clown. Clowns are dressed up all funny.
Yeah, but you think like I'm here? What's so funny about me?
It's what you just said.
So you think I'm here to make you laugh?
No.
Thanks for your input.
You're welcome.
Same situation. Big albino that you want to be brumating, but you don't want her to be frozen, because although you want the cold weather to trigger her ovulation cycle, so that way in the spring when she wakes up,
Can I do it?
you don't want her getting frozen. So now we're gonna go inside and put her in the shelves inside. Okay, so these are the shelves that we keep the animals that need to be cooled but not frozen, in case it gets cold in Florida. And again, what we do is we fill it up with the same exact substrate that they have in their cage, and we put them in it. Now it's much smaller, and it's a little cramped, but it's a good thing. You don't want them moving around. You don't want them moving around too much. See, and he's gonna go right in his hide box. He actually knows his cage now because he's been in there a couple of times this winter.
I didn't know you actually had two in there.
I did.
Hi, big guy.
Thank you, Mr. Alex. Give him a little water. You want to get that one more? Yep.
I love Tegu.
They're closed up.
Can
They're
I
ready.
hold one for Tegu?
Yeah, let's see if you can hold one to take. So hold on, let me put this female away now.
What's in there? Hi, big guy. Hey, are you going to get a Tegu? Oh, Dad.
Now this coming summer, which is in about 6 months from now, we're hoping to God that we'll have tegus for sale. We'll have tegus for sale. I mean albino tegus for sale. That'll be affordable enough. In past years they've been $2,000, $2,500 a piece, and we're hoping that we produce enough of them that they can be affordable. You want to pet her? Now could you imagine if this big old female lays about 40 eggs?
Can I pet her? She's pretty.
Same thing, put her in her little cage. Now keep in mind something, she'll probably only be in here for a week or so. You alright, babe? Because in Florida, we don't really have cold snaps. I mean cold season, we only have cold snaps. By the time you snap your fingers, it's gone. And it's been a fairly mild winter so far. So brumating and hibernating, extremely important aspects of reptile breeding. A lot of people don't yet fully understand. I don't know how it works with some of the other ones. I know when I was breeding boas and chondros, it's the same thing. You gotta let them naturally cool off, sometimes artificially. But with the tegus, it's not just a vital, important part, but if you don't get at least a couple of weeks of cool weather, you'll actually lose a lot of production. With the blue-tongued skinks, that whole line of blue-tongued skinks, none of which are out now, if you don't get cold weather, last year was the first year we produced almost no baby blue-tongues. That's because we had the mildest winter we've had in 20 years. So that's brumating, underground reptile style.
Hey, what's up, YouTube losers? It's your pal Moody freaking Booty, and I've got a new segment for you called Moody's 2 Cents. There they are. Check it out, Moody's 2 Cents, huh? Anyways, Moody's 2 Cents, all about things that grind my gears in the reptile and the exotic animal industry. Number one thing that grinds my gears: B-grade animals. Now, the animals don't bother me. It's the fact that some people have this idea that if anything's ever born with some sort of genetic abnormality, they must throw it in a freaking freezer. That's ridiculous, okay? Not everything with some sort of abnormality, a kinked tail, even sometimes like a kinked back or something like that, needs to be euthanized, okay? I know, heaven forbid, you actually put your name behind something. There's something. See, we haven't thrown him in the freezer yet. There's Ugly Sam. I mean beautiful. I'm sorry, Sam. Beautiful Sam, okay? And we haven't thrown him in a freezer. We keep him. He works hard. He's good at other things. Anyways, as I was saying, see, check out this guy. This is an albino sand boa. Gorgeous animal. Eats like a champ. You know what his problem is? He's got a funky looking tail. That's it. Okay, he was born that way. Get off his back. Or his tail. Get off of it. He's still got his hemipenes intact. He might even make a good breeder. Who knows? But you know, there's people out there that are all worried about, well, what if my name gets put on something that has some sort of genetic issue? Get over it. Guys, animals are born deformed in the animal kingdom, just like with human beings, okay? So as I was saying, they exist. Just because a breeder produces a couple animals and they have something wrong with them, doesn't mean that he's a bad breeder. Doesn't necessarily mean he's done anything wrong. It happens. And especially when dealing with genetic morphs, because most of them are inbred. That's the only way we can keep most of these around. Okay? You get a new morph, you breed it to its sibling so that you can produce more of them. It happens. Alright? So there's Moody's 2 cents. Enjoy the B-grade animals. They're not B-grade, they're A-grade in my book. As long as it's not something that's detrimental to its health in the long run, or is causing pain on the, you know, pain for the animal, then keep it, love it. In fact, go buy some.
Out of there. Here's inbred and underground reptiles. Hold on, let me get it on my. Here's inbred and under. Listen, we're doing stuff on winter. I don't know too much about winter. It's winter right now in Florida and it's like 70 degrees. It's stupid. Florida's stupid. This, look at the snake. This is a Mexican West Coast rattlesnake. This is a Crotalus basiliscus. All right, this is a giant rattlesnake when they get bigger. This right here is a 2013 baby. This is 2014. In case you're watching this in the future, this is a great little animal. Don't look at me. Look at the snake. I'm going to explain some stuff about the snake. Okay. Now these are some of the most impressive rattlesnakes in the world, in my opinion. They get very large. On average, you know, they'll get about 4.5, 5 foot on average. They can get up to 6.5, 7 foot. And they got a very thick body, very thick like a blood python or a gaboon viper. And they're an extremely dangerous rattlesnake. All right, all rattlesnakes are extremely dangerous, but this one especially, it's got a very high venom yield. It like just pumps you if it bites you, and the toxicity of the venom is very high. It's got a very high LD50. All right, these come from west coast of Mexico, from like Sonora south, you know, down there in Mexico, and they're primarily inhabit like thorn forest, you know, kind of like almost tropical desert, I guess you'd say.
I like desert.
Yeah, and they're also known to hybridize naturally in the wild. They make natural intergrades with blacktail rattlesnakes, which is Crotalus molossus. All right, but this is a pure dude right here. Look at him. Listen to his little rattle. And they're very aggressive little rattlesnakes. Most rattlesnakes, you know, are
very dangerous. I want to poke him with a stick.
well, let me rephrase that. Rattlesnakes are defensive. They're not going to outright come and just try and get you. They're just trying to defend themselves. They're not bad. They're not terrifying. Let me move them around a little bit there. And if you look right there, don't look at me. Look over here. Look at the camera. See, look at that. They display very nicely. They got super cool patterning on them when they're small, and when they get bigger, the majority of their body changes colors to their dorsal color there. It pretty much turns like a tannish brown. They lose a lot of patterning, and they just get to be a big, bulky brown snake. Very defensive, just stunning animal. And to go along with the winter thing, during the winter they don little beards and put on hats and go around to all the Mexican children giving them gifts. And that's about all I got for winter theming on this animal. Crotalus basiliscus, one of the most impressive rattlesnakes in the world. I mean, look at that thing. That is neat.
Oh, Inbred, I got a question. Since you're talking about winter, man. How hard is it to deliver all those packages on Christmas Eve?
We have some, we sold them out. We have some baby Hermans, but that was it. Yeah,
You gotta always keep your eyes on the snake when you're doing something.
right now,
Sam is my eternal nightmare here at Underground Reptiles. He gives me I got a tumor that grows a little bit larger every day in my brain having to listen to him. This is Inbred Ned.
Don't you feel the love?
This is a West Coast Mexican rattlesnake, Crotalus basiliscus. Say that out loud, basiliscus.
Basiliscus.
That means something like king in Latin, because it's the king rattlesnake, because it's kings. Know what I mean? Take her easy.
Go again. This week's answer to my question is no, you cannot put them together because they will eat each other.
And the answer to my trivia question is C, sun gazers.
Guys,
Moody Booty's back.
Hey, shut up, he's filming.
Inbred Ned and Drew, a moron still. And I'm here to read off some contest winners. What will you guys be winning this week? Let's see. How about free shipping on your next order? How's that work for you? I'll pay for shipping. I'm here with my good pal. This is Abnor Booty. You get it? I just talked about him. He's got the weird butt. This is Moody Booty. This is Abnor Booty. Short for abnormal. Couldn't come up with anything else. I thought about Inbred Ned, but that'd be an insult to the snake. Moving on. Our first lucky winner, if that's what he is Daniel Santivanes. Says he's getting his girlfriend a 12-foot retic python just because she hates snakes. I'm calling shenanigans. I don't think you got the guts. Inbred, you think he's got the guts?
God, liar.
Inbred says you're a liar. But if you do get her a 12-foot retic because she hates him, I'm sure she'll wind up hating you. So good luck with that relationship. Next up, Daniel Harrigan. He says he will get his girlfriend nothing because he hates her. Evidently he was kidding, but maybe she'll get a Euromastix. Then he says he hates her again, and then he says maybe I will get her Moody Booty. In which case, she will hate you, but love Moody Booty, because everybody loves Moody Booty. Especially your girlfriend, Daniel. I'm not trying to imply anything there. Moving on. Trish Riley says, well, I don't have a spouse or significant other because I'm forever alone.
She's available, huh?
Evidently, or he. It could be one of those effeminate names like Pat.
I'm pretty desperate at this point.
Or Jamie. You ever met a guy named Jamie? Not trying to pick on you, but seriously. Anyways. Ashley. Yeah, that's another one of those names. Those are horrible parents. You know your kid's getting made fun of every day of his school career. However, he's gonna get, or she is gonna get a pair of house shoes and some Rachel Ray cooking stuff. Because if, for their mom. Because if she's gonna be forever alone, at least she wants to have enough cake for me not to think about it. Good idea. Drown your sorrows in sweets and make sure that you stay alone forever.
Yeah, eat some more cake. That's sure to help you find somebody.
It's helped Inbred Ned. Take a look.
No, don't. What's that?
Pan over.
Don't look. Don't.
What's on?
I'm hidden.
There's his cake too.
Okay.
Enjoy.
I'm helping a customer right now. Can I help you?
Enjoy.
And there's Moses. Moses is available. He's looking for somebody right now to help him get his green card. I'll marry you.
Yeah, please help me. I will appreciate that.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
That's it for Moody. I hope you guys enjoy your free crap. I hope you guys just leave me alone. I don't care. I'm done.
This is good cake.
That's 20 minutes underground. We hope you enjoyed the show. Sorry about the delay in between shows. We're doing the best we can, and we're going to try to get it regularly scheduled. We're actually, what we're trying to do is get our own reality television show. So if you're out there and you want us to film a reality show and you don't mind paying me $10,000 an episode to start, because that's what it's going to cost for my flesh to make a fool of myself every week, call me. The store number is at the bottom of the screen. Right?
Yeah.
You want to have your own TV show?
I'm 6.
She doesn't want her own show. She's 6.
I mean, I'm a little kid. My name's Kiki.
And what does that mean? This week's question of the week is a doozy.
Idea.
Oh, stop, I'm talking. This week's question of the week is a doozy. Winner of this week's question of the week will get a $100 gift certificate. There'll only be one.
Oh my goodness.
Don't you scratch my truck with that stick. $100 gift certificate. What animal starts out as a dog, but yet ends up as a cat? What animal starts out as a dog, but ends up as a cat? Think about it.
Cat dog.
Here you go, a cat dog. That's not it.
A body of a cat and a tail of a cat and the face of a dog.
No! Wrong!
I know. You
Good.
just screamed in my ear. And a face of a dog.
Wrong!
Body.
Wrong!
A shape of
Thanks for watching.
That's a cat.
Winner gets $100. That's a lot of free crap. $100 gift certificate.
Oh my gracious! Oh my goodness! I'm gonna run away up your neck! I need to run away.
Hey, for you guys that are asking. Sorry. For you guys that have been curious and asking.
Scared me, Dad.
White kids and black kids, they're both crazy. Nobody has a lock on that one.
I'm not crazy!
Stop acting like a goofball.
I'm not goofball.
Stop talking. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. God bless. Oos.